of that, and you know, your level of understanding is going to be higher. But I think as you grow up, you're expected to show specific behaviors, or your reactions to situations are supposed to be, you know, more mature. You're expected to be more conscious of what to do. And even if you're going through a hard time, you're expected to overcome. And so, so people, when they see that somebody is depressed or somebody is acting, you know, reactions are off or whatever, and you're an adult, they're like, you know, that's completely, you know, weird, or what's going on with this person. Your level of understanding is probably going to be lower because you're expecting the person, the adult, to be all together because he's the adult.
Yeah.
So that would be my understanding.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Thinking about different cultural groups or even like minority groups, do you think there's a difference in mental health perception in those groups, or just how they deal with or identify mental health?
Yeah, definitely. I think that I know from my culture, and what I see here, I haven't been in my country for many years now, but meaning I don't live there anymore, but I think for most part we try to hide it. If there were some mental health issues, whatever the situation was. You know, if you had a kid with mental health issues, or, you know, we were not so open about it, and so, or talk too much about it. It was kind of like people would know about it, but we didn't talk or discuss or ask about the situation or the condition. Nowadays, I think it has changed, and definitely parents are a lot more aware of ways to help their kids, and medication in case, you know, there's medication available to support them. There's also, I think that with parents is the denial part. You don't want to acknowledge that your kid could be having an issue here in the United States or in my country. I think that's another big step. First, recognize that you could be having an issue, or the person could be having an issue. So, yeah, I think that has been, but nowadays with all these media and all these communications and everybody's, so videos and things of that nature, for good and for bad, people is more aware of what is going on around them, and they are more willing to accept if there's an issue or talk about it. So that would be my point. I think people here is being more open or more aware of situations, mental health situations, with anybody, and try to deal with it the best way possible.
Yeah.
And also the mental health, if you have an issue, I think here you have the medical support that we don't have in my country. And that makes a big difference too, because for people that do not have much resources, and to have their kids being taken care of, going to a doctor, having, you know, counselor talk to them, or somebody, and a specialist talk to them about what could be the situation, what could be the conditions, and how to support their child. Sometimes, unless you have the resources in Peru, you don't have that You know what I mean? Or it
Yeah.
takes a long time to go through the public health department to take, appointments here, appointments there, take your child. And so it's not easy.
Yeah.
I think that support here is much better. I think.
Okay. You mentioned that some parents are in denial. Is that something you've experienced with parents that you've worked with, or?
Miss Annie, call your office, please. Miss Annie, call your office.
Yeah, I think as parents, nobody wants to think that their kid has a problem. We all want our kids to be perfect or more. So when you have to look at the situation and see that there could be a problem, how they, first reaction I think for most part is denying. For most part, I'm not saying everybody, and it also many times it feels like a failure. Parents are failing, and so it is hard to accept that your child is not all together, especially because you have other children around you and you compare your child to those children and you want your child to be just like perfect, quote unquote, as the others.
Yeah.
So that's what I've seen with parents. Not that they are not willing to help their kid. It's just it's hard to deal with a situation like that.
Yeah. Do you think there's a difference in gender when we talk about mental health issues or mental health perception?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think women are more passionate about things, and we show our emotions a great deal more than males. So that could be sometimes interpreted like you are off, I don't know, sometimes. But I don't know. I'm trying to think about the kids. Oh, I don't know. I honestly couldn't say that there's much of a difference.
Okay.
No.
There's something I wanted to say now. What would you say are the most common mental health problems or issues that you see in your classroom?
I see what I interpret. My interpretation is, and I don't know if that's a mental health issue or not, but it's a oppositional disorder. The other thing I see is there's kids that don't know how to be happy. I don't know if that's a mental health issue itself, but they have a hard time being happy, and there's always a reason to complain. There's always a reason to jump on somebody else because of whatever they said or whatever they did or how they look at them, and so yeah, kids, they're kids, but there's these kids that have a really hard time socializing too, and is that just a skill, or is that because every time they go in a group, the group gets disturbed, and either because they said something about somebody or they jump on somebody because whatever they said. So I don't know. That's something that I've observed. There's